I got a lot stronger in 2023. I added 60 pounds to my deadlift, 30 pounds to my squat, and we don't talk about my bench press. I did a lot of things right in 2023 with my strength training, but I also did a lot of things wrong. So today we're going to talk about the mental side of strength training with some strength lessons that I learned in 2023 that are going to make me and hopefully you a better lifter in 2024. Our first lesson is sure to upset some of the hardliners and old heads among us, and that is less is sometimes more. When I was coming up in the strength game, there was this idea that if you were not crawling out of the gym after every workout, it was a wasted workout. I came from football strength training, which is not the best. Sometimes you get a great strength coach that knows what they're doing. Most of the time, you're just there to prove that you're strong enough and you're mentally tough enough to be on the field. This is not entirely a terrible thing. If you are utilizing strength training for that purpose, then I think it's fantastic. Build some mental toughness. Make sure that you know how hard it's going to be to perform. But if your goal is to be the best powerlifter, the best bodybuilder, the best CrossFitter that you can be, oftentimes understanding that less is more is going to take you far further. Am I telling you to half-ass your training every time you walk into the gym? Absolutely not. That would be disingenuous. Am I telling you that if you just go in and do a couple sets here and there without intent and without focus, that you're going to be as strong as possible? Again, no. I am telling you that understanding that in your strength journey through microcycles, 1 week training, macrocycles, 3 to 6 months of training, and full years of training, there are going to be training days in which doing less volume, less intensity are going to provide you with the best base for long-term strength adaptation. To quote the noted philosopher Syndrome from the movie Incredibles, if everyone is super, no one is super. If every training day is balls to the wall 100%, no training day is balls to the wall 100%. It doesn't quite work out that way, but let me tell you what I mean. If you are pushing yourself physically to the end of your rope every single training session, it is more than likely that you will burn out physically. Unless you are the 1% of the 1% in your ability to recover, you are going to burn out. And those 3 weeks that you're pushing yourself 100% are going to be offset by the 2 weeks that you have to take off because of a minor injury or because you just physically cannot output any more strength. There are some among us who are just built different. There are some people that can really get away with crushing themselves every single day. And to them, I say more power to you. For the rest of us mere mortals, we have to understand that strength can be built in a ton of different rep ranges, intensity ranges, and volume ranges. The set of 7 for RPE 6 that you're doing on your squat is not going to play very well on Instagram, but you have to ask yourself, do you want to be an Instagram lifter or do you want to be the strongest that you can possibly be? A lesson I learned this year was that I want to be the strongest that I can be and not really care about what anyone else says on Instagram. Sometimes less is more. You have to come to terms with that if you want to have a long and fruitful strength career. Another valuable lesson I learned this year is that almost everything works if you give it enough time. Have you ever walked into a commercial gym and seen a 55-year-old dude who's repping out 330 on the bench, touch and go, no arch, not really a powerlifting style of training, and you watch the rest of his training and realize he's not paying attention to any of the scientific training styles. He's just going in and working hard. That used to make me so upset because I used to be in the camp that if you weren't following the most modern, cutting edge training science and utilizing the best methods and modalities to train, that you were just wasting your time and not getting a lot of gains. And these gym warriors would fly in the face of that because they definitely were not following the most scientific and cutting edge ways of training, and they were still getting strong and still getting big. So something was going on there that I couldn't reconcile. Well, this year I learned that the body is very adaptable. Almost every style of training, provided there's some form of progressive overload, will work. If you're a powerlifting hardliner who never goes above 3 sets or a bodybuilding purist who only does lengthened partials, both of those things will work. That's just the truth of it. Sorry to upset you. There is a wide world of training out there, and most of it works given time and given proper effort. I experimented with 4 or 5 different programs this year, and I'll tell you what, All of them were different and all of them worked. I continued to get stronger. I continued to get better in my technique. Some of them worked better for me than others, but that doesn't mean that the other ones didn't work. Stop falling for this trap that there is only one specific way to do things, and if you don't do that, you are going to waste away and atrophy and look like Voldemort at the end of Harry Potter. That's not going to happen. You will make adaptations. Don't fall for it. If you can find the things that work best for you and give you the fastest results, then go for it. I am all about optimization in the right format, not this internet optimization that people are talking about, but finding training methods, styles of training, frequency, volume, intensity levels that give you the best balance of growth and recovery. That's awesome. That is where training really becomes fun. Pursue that, definitely, but also understand that if you're not catching the groove, it's not wasted training sessions. You are still making progress. Last, but certainly not least, this year I learned that there is a wide world outside of my little internet bubble. It's easy to believe that the things that you see on Instagram and YouTube are the only things out there. It is easy to believe that if you're not deadlifting 800 pounds like this 75-pound 18-year-old who seems to have just walked in the gym, that there is no reason for you to train. It seems like every other day there's a new person doing an incredible strength feat, and that can be pretty discouraging if you fall towards the middle of the bell curve of strength. But understand that there is a wide world outside of that Instagram bubble. Comparing yourself to people who are genetic freaks, who may be dabbling with steroids, or who may just work harder and longer than you is absolutely fruitless. It is your journey. You have to understand that a 5-pound PR on your bench press is an absolute incredible marvel of strength for you specifically. I don't care if you go from 130 to 135. You worked for it. You put in the effort, you did the hard work, you PR'd on the bench press. That doesn't mean that because someone is bench pressing 500 pounds that your achievement is any less in your eyes. The problem is we're trying to get achievements from other people and they don't matter. Stop putting your lifts out there to get accolades and big ups from people you don't even know. This year, I understood that my journey is just my journey. Maybe my wife cares, maybe my mom cares, but at the end of the day, it is about me and the process of getting better every day. I know it sounds cheap and trite, but it is honestly true. And the quicker that you can learn that your progress is your progress and nobody else's, the more enjoyment you will have in the sport of powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit, strongman, whatever. Understanding that you are doing this for the betterment of yourself and not to show off to anybody else is the greatest lesson that you can learn, and one that I hope you learn quickly so that 2024 and beyond can be incredible for you in terms of your growth inside the gym and outside the gym. Sorry to get on my soapbox, folks, but this lesson is incredibly important, and if you take one thing away from this video, I hope it is that. Be an individual, train as hard and as intelligently as you can, make progress, and don't care about what anybody else thinks or says. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me that you clicked on this one. If you want to learn more about some things that I find overrated and underrated in the strength game, you can click on this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Black Bear Barbell family. We would love to have you. Get strong and stay strong.